A woman hit by a police cruiser during a chase last night remains in critical condition at the hospital this afternoon. Cincinnati's police chief just finished speaking about the accident. Local 12's Jeff Hirsh is live at police headquarters with that new information for us. Jeff?
Good evening, Rob. This incident occurred Saturday evening at 7:19 to be exact. Officer Orlando Smith was responding to an officer needs assistance run. That is quite probably the highest priority run a police officer will ever get. He was coming down Vine Street and Over-The-Rhine when he hit a pedestrian who was crossing the street. This pedestrian, named Natalie Cole, 36 years old, was not in a crosswalk. This occurred at near Elder and Vine on Vine. She was not in a crosswalk. Now, the police car did have a cruiser cam, and the cruiser cam was working, but it stopped just before the moment of impact, just before the car and the pedestrian collided. The chief said this is an older cruiser cam. Sometimes these things do happen when the car is bumping and going fast. He said that's pretty much the only explanation they have for that at this point. And as for the incident itself, the chief talked about what is known as of now.
That he was operating his cruiser with due regard and being reasonable. And based on what we've seen here at this table, my command staff and myself, we are convinced at this point in the investigation that the officer was operating his cruiser in a reasonable fashion for the type of run that he was responsible.
I think you missed a little of that, but basically what he said was the officer, to the best of their knowledge, based on the information they have so far, was operating within the parameters of a pursuit or a response to an officer who needs assistance. And as for why the video didn't work at the time of the impact, as I said, they believe that it just broke. It broke because perhaps the car was going fast and bumping. But the investigation is still ongoing. Natalie Cole is now listed in stable condition at University Hospital. The police car also hit a fire hydrant after hitting the pedestrian, but the police officer was not seriously hurt. And as for, well, how do you know this pedestrian was in the middle of the street and not in the crosswalk when there was no video in the car? They said the evidence indicated that's where she was, that's where they came together, and they believe that that's what happened. Live at District 1, Jeff Hirsh, Local 12 News.
Jeff, thanks very much. The department also put Officer Smith on leave last November. He shot and killed 19-year-old Dantes O'Neill. O'Neill opened fire on police officers during a drug investigation in Avondale.